Right now, both presidential campaigns will return to Milwaukee in the coming days. Find out when and how the Democratic National Convention could play into the strategy of one of the visits.
Plus, a News 3 Now investigates report. After the fatal assault of a corrections officer at a youth prison, we'll hear from two former employees on the conditions they experienced at the prison.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Kyrian Lee.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. It is just muggy and sticky out there today.
Yes, it's muggy and sticky, but at least it's Friday. I know the weekend may look a little, last week was real pleasant. So this week, things may be heating up for us a little bit here.
You're always the optimist, though.
I
like your approach to these things. You're like, yeah, Chris, don't focus on that. I'm going to talk about how wonderful it's going to be.
Yes.
All right, Savannah Burrito's out in front of Hilltop Shopping Center, in front of Metcalf's. We're doing our big Stuff the Bus finale today. Savannah, before you get to the Stuff the Bus stuff, what are we in for when we step outside and going into the weekend?
Yeah, guys, we have dew points that are going to be pretty high, at least right now. We're sitting at a dew point of 70 still in Madison. But as we head into the weekend, those dew points are going to come down a little bit. It's still going to be muggy outside, but we gradually see those dew points decrease. Shower activity, we are going to see some of that. The low pressure system stalled a little bit, and we did not see the daytime heating we needed to yesterday. That's why we didn't see any of those severe storms. That was one of the limitations that I was talking about yesterday on why we might not see those. The low pressure system still sitting north of Minneapolis right now. As those showers wrap around behind that and as that cold front moves closer to our area, we are going to see showers later in the day. We're looking at the late afternoon into the early evening. That's a better chance for those showers and storms where we could see some pretty heavy rain and then also some gusty winds. Those, if we are able to see any storms, would be the main threats that we're going to see across southern Wisconsin. Visibility issues also as winds calm down overnight and humidity levels increase. We're actually now down to 4 miles. This is not dissipating. This is actually expanding. You will encounter patchy dense fog as you head out just because humidity levels are so high. We have lots of moisture in the atmosphere. So just be careful out there. This is our last day of the back to school drive, Stuff the Bus. So make sure you come out. We'll take any donations. Any little bit does help, guys.
Right. Savannah, thank you so much. We'll check back in just a little bit. Switching gears now, Vice President Kamala Harris will hold a campaign event on Tuesday in Milwaukee.
It's going to happen at Pfizer Forum. That's where the Republican National Convention was last month. The Vice President's visit to Milwaukee will coincide with her party's convention going on in Chicago. One Republican strategist tells us the move is intended to keep all eyes on Democrats in one of the most crucial areas of the country.
What do you get? You get a double hit. You get the party faithful in Chicago, however many tens of thousand at the convention, and you get another whatever you could have 8,000-10,000 or whatever in Milwaukee. So you really get you're kind of bookending the news, as they kind of say in the business. You're capturing everything. It's going to be really hard for the Trump campaign to kind of insert itself into these stories.
This will be Harris's 7th visit to the state this year and her 3rd since entering the presidential race.
Next week, News 3 Now will be in Chicago for the Democratic National Convention. We'll have team coverage throughout all 4 days. That includes right here on our morning newscast. Make sure you tune in from August 19th through the 22nd. And happening today on the other side of the race, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is returning to Milwaukee for an event of his own. Senator Vance is expected to speak at around 11 this morning at the Milwaukee Police Association building. Doors open at 8 o'clock. He is expected to continue his criticisms of the White House for its approach to combating crime and border security. Vance also has visited the Badger State recently. He was in Eau Claire last week.
We're now down to the final few weeks before the start of the school year, and that means getting the entire family ready. Experts at UW Health Kids say a practice run is a good idea. They recommend going to the school if possible, familiarizing your student with every location they'll need to know about. That includes the classroom, cafeteria, and playground. They also encourage getting their bodies ready for a schedule change as well.
So we're about 2 weeks out from school, so it's a good time to get on a school sleep schedule. So going to bed and waking up at the time you might for school, and then preparing them for what to expect for the first day of school and the first few weeks of school.
It can also be a stressful time. UW Health recommends talking to your doctor if you notice anything unusual, such as changes to your kids' friend groups, a drop in grades or performance, or sudden physical symptoms like headaches or stomach aches. All right, switching gears now at 6:04 to a News 3 Now Investigates report. Inmates and their families say Wisconsin's only youth prison is failing them. Years of controversy surrounding Lincoln Hills Copper Lake schools came to a head in June when 2 inmates at the facility fatally attacked a corrections officer.
Our Braden Ross went behind the barbed wire to learn what it's like for staff on the inside.
Remember that?
If you ask Lisa and Mark Brenner how they fell in love, they'll tell you the truth.
We tell everybody we met in prison.
Okay, it's not quite what you're thinking.
When you work together, you have 8 hours to sit and share, you know.
We used to sit there and
Talk and laugh.
and share our whole life stories.
Back in the early 2000s, they were both guards at Lincoln Hills Copper Lake Schools, the Department of Corrections' largest youth prison in the state.
It's a bonding thing. You trust this person with your life when you turn your back. You know what I mean? They got your 6.
Lisa worked at Lincoln Hills for nearly a decade before Mark showed up in 2003. Before moving north, he spent 18 years working at Mendota Mental Health Institute, a secure psychiatric hospital for adults in Madison.
Everything was structured. We had paperwork, incident reports.
But Mark says Lincoln Hills was a different story.
I looked at her and I go, what is going on in this institution?
Both Brenners have witnessed and experienced violence at the hands of Lincoln Hills inmates many times.
I've had surgeries, gotten in between fights.
Toilet bowl cocktails thrown in my face, which is a mixture of poop and pee.
We had a girl that beat her head up against the wall constantly, and me having to put my hand back there and she beats it and blood's all over the place. And you had to stop her, but you couldn't hurt her.
They say trying to stop those outbursts saved lives, but they often feared being disciplined for the split-second decisions they had to make.
That fraction of a second of hesitation might cost that kid his life.
In the early 2010s, Lincoln Hills Copper Lake faced increasing scrutiny from lawmakers, advocacy groups, and inmates' families. The Brenners say that pressure meant the rules made by DOC leadership in Madison changed all the time.
Don't lock them up. Do lock them up. Don't handcuff them. Do. You know, it was confusing for us. Your hands are just tied.
Lisa left Lincoln Hills in 2013. Mark followed 1 year later.
The choices, the confusion, the psychological effects before and after. I still have dreams. I still have nightmares.
Now, 10 years later, a lot of these problems still haven't been solved. According to the Department of Corrections, there have been 150 youth assaults on staff at Lincoln Hills Copper Lake in 2024 alone. One of those incidents left 49-year-old CO Corey Prue dead.
What was your initial reaction?
Tragedy. Tragedy. Horrible.
Not surprised.
That was our Braden Ross with the story. She asked the former employees what they want to see change. Here's what they had to say.
What do you think needs to change?
Every day you go in there, every individual, your life's at risk. And you have to know that as a staff worker. The job's not a joke. They just need to have tools and structure and guidance.
Meanwhile, at the state capitol, there are growing tensions between Democrats and Republicans over what to do next. Our political reporter Will Keneally will have that part of the story in our next half hour.
6:08 coming up next. We'll get another check of your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Savannah Brito, who is out live for our final day of Stuff the Bus.
Also ahead, the Brewers wrap up their series against the Dodgers. They also have some unfortunate injuries. That's next in sports.
And we're live in the 608 this morning for Stuff the Bus. We've got the big bus right here along University Ave at Hilldale location this morning for Metcalf. So you can come out here, bring those school supplies, and visit us all throughout the day. It is the final day for Stuff the Bus. So let's make it a great one, folks. We're back after this with why this really is making an impact in our community.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Brought to you by Toyota.
At Toyota's national sales event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Right now, you can lease a sporty new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month, or lease a new 2025 Camry for $349 a month.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
A little help here?
Keep it down. The noise is making them angry. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free, plus no interest until 2026.
Call 866 for Feldco. I have prepared Thomas's breakfast for you to savor together.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, are English muffins from England?
Heavens no, they're from the pantry.
Are you from England?
Nay, I am also from the pantry. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth, PowerSwabs can target that area using swab precision.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. And he said, I can't believe how white your teeth are. From that point on, I've been sold.
Order PowerSwabs and receive up to 50% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, get a free quick stick pen with your order. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Not everyone knows us, but in southern Wisconsin, Illinois, and eastern Indiana, we are famous in our field. As a Sloan's technician, customer service is our specialty, whether you come to see us or we come to you. We are in the business of supporting your business, and we are highly trained to work on your John Deere equipment. At Sloan's, our loyalty lies with you. We depend on you, and we are proud to serve you. When it comes to service, you can count on us. Remember, think Sloan's first.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We are back at 6:12 on your Friday. It's a big day in the 608, the final push for our News 3 Now back to school supply drive.
That's right. Josh Sprider is live outside Metcalf's at Hilldale this morning with how you can help for this final push. Josh, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is it, the final day of Stuff the Bus. We're hoping to go out with a bang. Come visit us right now at Metcalf's at Hilldale location. We are hoping to stuff this bus once again with all those school supplies for local kids. Of course, partnering up with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. Lindsey Brahms is back with us. Lindsey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful, and it's a beautiful morning. A little sticky out here, but it could be raining, so it could be worse. And it's the perfect day to be able to come out here and make a difference in the 608.
Absolutely. No, we're so grateful for everyone who has donated in the past here and over the past couple of weeks. And yeah, we're hoping to go out with a bang, like you said, today.
So we are stuffing this bus right now. I know we do have some school supplies on the bus this morning, but we're hoping to get this thing packed by the end of the day. What sort of school supplies are we really needing this year?
Yeah, so backpacks and lunch boxes are always a hot commodity for us. That's something we're still in great need for. Also basic supplies such as scissors, notebooks, spiral notebooks, folders, anything that can really set a kid up for success throughout the academic year that you think they may need would be helpful.
It's been amazing to see the donations even being dropped off at our News 3 Now studios. I know you guys have seen that at your locations. There are some other easy ways that folks can help out. We're talking about monetary donations and Amazon wish lists. How can folks utilize those?
Sure. So you can go to our website, bgcdc.org/back-to-school, and we have an Amazon wish list. So that makes it really easy for folks to donate who actually aren't able to come out in person here today and order supplies that will be sent directly to one of our locations, and we will sort and to get that ready for students before Thursday, our distribution day, as well as people can donate on our website for monetary support that will help us bridge the gap if there's items that we may not have necessarily received with people donating, but will help us purchase those items then too.
And of course, we're talking about here now today, stuffing the the bus, but there's going to be help that's going to be needed into next week once we get all of these school supplies. So how can people really volunteer and step up that way?
Right. So Monday through Thursday, we'll have people volunteering and sorting items for kids. And so having all the notebooks in one pile, all the scissors. And so basically it's almost like a buffet. Students are able to go through and pick and choose what they need. And then on Thursday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the clubs, we'll be able to distribute those school supplies as well.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So there's still plenty of ways to be able to help out, folks. Again, last day of Stuff the Bus, and you can help the Boys and Girls Club next week get those school supplies ready for all of those kids that are going to be so excited for the brand new school year. We have all of these details, including links to the schedule for distribution up on channel3000.com. Lindsay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Josh.
You bet. Guys, we're going to send it back to you. We're going to have a lot more ahead here from Stuff the Bus coming up a little bit later.
All right, talk to you soon, Josh. There's really no excuse not to donate this year. We've made it so easy. If it's dropping it off there, Boys and Girls Club, our station, you can give monetary donations, or you can do the Amazon wish list. I mean, really, we've made it so easy for you. So please, if you've waited, today is the day to do it. Let's finish strong.
Yes, so give where you can. Thank you so much. Well, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or, of course, email us at inthe608@wisc-tv.com for a chance to be featured.
Stuff the Bus is also where we happen to find our meteorologist, Savannah Brito.
She's live in Hildale with Josh with your first WARN forecast. Savannah, good morning.
70-degree dew points out there, at least across the Madison area and then eastward, but some areas that saw that cold front pass through the area already. A little bit cooler than that, but it's still muggy nonetheless wherever you're located across southern Wisconsin. 69 is the current dew point in the Dells, 64 in Camp Douglas. This is why we didn't see any strong to even severe thunderstorms yesterday. The front stalled a little bit, now making its way closer to southern Wisconsin, but because also we didn't see that peak daytime heating, or at least the heating we needed to see, we were not able to see any severe weather yesterday, which is good news, but we could see some isolated gusty winds and then also some pretty heavy rain later with any storms that we do see as the system does inch closer to us. Any shower activities up actually now almost near Green Bay at this point, so not in the Madison viewing area. But we're still seeing some foggy conditions because winds, those have calmed down, dew points. There's lots of moisture in the atmosphere, and we have climbing humidity levels very high, near 100%. So that's why we're seeing all this patchy, dense fog. We're down to 4 miles in Madison. Janesville's also down to that. But areas like Platteville, less than a quarter of a mile. So you're going to experience dense fog potentially out on the roadways, so just be careful, allow a little bit of extra time. Temperatures, those that have seen that cold front pass through the area, a little bit cooler, 69 Cross Plains, 72 in Madison, sitting basically at Madison right now, the cold front anyways. Like Black River Falls and then areas like Camp Douglas have seen that pass through. So those places down to about 60 degrees or in the lower 60s. Those showers that I was talking about later in the day coming as we inch closer to lunchtime. That's going to be northwest of Madison. As we head closer to dinner time, though, that's when I think most of the area could see, again, those gusty winds and then some isolated areas of heavy rainfall. That'll be what to look for. So if you are heading out between the late afternoon, early evening, I would say definitely have the rain gear handy. We're looking at about 5 to 6 p.m. Those showers making its way through Madison. After that, most of us and most of that will move east, but I still think we're going to have to deal with some spotty, heavier showers overnight behind the low pressure system. So if you are planning on heading out or having to be outside later tonight, just know that there could be a couple of spotty showers out there. 81 today, breezy. Winds are going to gust to about 20 miles per hour later, so it will be a little windy out there. Saturday and Sunday still near the 80-degree mark for your weekend.
On July 24th, the Brewers placed Christian Yelich on the injured list because of his back, and he's not getting off the IL anytime soon. The Crew's outfielder will have season-ending surgery on his back later today. It's a decision that Yelich said sucks, but one that was the only option because his back wasn't getting any better. And Yelich, remember, was having his best season as a Brewer since his first 2 years in Milwaukee. Well, speaking of the Brewers, they're looking to split their series against the Dodgers. Crew down a run in the 8th. Bases loaded for Willie Adames, and Captain Clutch rips one into left field to tie this one up at 4. That starts a 3-run inning for the Brewers, and then Devin Williams entered to shut the door on the Dodgers. First, he gets Mookie Betts swinging, and then it's Shohei Ohtani's turn. Brewers get the win and the split, 6-4, the final. The Wisconsin men's and women's hockey programs will be part of history on January 4th when they both play outdoor hockey games on Wrigley Field in the Frozen Confines Big Ten Hockey Series. The women will drop the puck against Ohio State in a national championship rematch, while the men will face off against Michigan State. It's the second outdoor hockey game for the Badger women, 4th for the men, and neither program has lost an outdoor game. And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
And still ahead, we'll show you how a lifelong Brewers fan stole the spotlight at last night's game.
And coming up in our next half hour, find out why Medicare drug prices are going to be going down. We'll show you the difference and who will be affected and when it takes place.
As we head to break, here's a look at gas prices this morning. Time now 6:20. We'll be right back.
Eric Franke, News 3 Now at 5, 6, and 10. Moving forward.
Champion's big window sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows. Because when you buy 2, you get 2 free. Buy 2 Champion windows, get 2 free? I guess that means if you buy 4, you get 4 free. Buy 6, get 6 free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you. Thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Hi, I'm Steve Bozeman from Steve's Auto Sales, home of the $49.99 sale. Pop the top, it's summertime. At Steve's Auto Sales, we've got your ATV. Steve has the fast Jeeps. Need to carry a ladder? We've got work trucks. Easy finance at Steve's Auto Sales. Just bring your pay stubs and bank statement. Steve's Auto Sales, the best deals in Madison. Search for Steve's on your phone right now.
$6:23 on your Friday morning. Here is a look at a photo from Michael. This is a beautiful skyline here. It's just like the perfect depth.
Oh, I love it. Just gorgeous photo. Thanks for capturing that for us, Michael, and sharing it with us. We appreciate it. Michael, use hashtag MyNews3Morning. That's how he got it to us. You can do the same. Just take a picture and use the hashtag. Well, trending this morning, wanted to start off with a cool moment at last night's Brewers game. Check this out. Ruth Warning threw out the first pitch. At 102 years of age, she is one of the oldest people to throw out a first pitch at a major league game. She lives at a senior living facility in Wauwatosa. She played the sport as a kid and has been a Brewers fan since she was 6 years old. Keep in mind, she was 6 in 1928. And you're thinking, wait a minute, have the Brewers been around that long? Brewers were still a minor league team at the time in Milwaukee. She has been a fan that long. What an amazing moment.
What a beautiful moment. And to be 102 is a blessing. I can only imagine. So I'm so glad that she has gotten to experience this late in her life.
It just makes me smile.
Yeah.
Well, take a look at all the Swifties in London. Day one of Taylor Swift's 5-day run at Wembley Stadium is in the books. It comes less than a month after the foiled terror attack at Vienna that canceled her shows. Last night, 92,000 strong were in attendance in London. They all had to go through extra security to get in. So if everything goes as planned, Swift would set a Wembley record for a solo residency.
Yeah, she has been, I feel like she's been on tour forever and a day now.
I know, right?
And I'm not sure how she keeps up with.
Oh my gosh.
Like, when does she get a break?
Right. Sure, she doesn't get much. So I think after this European leg wraps up, she's going to take a little bit of time off.
Yes.
And then start her North American tour back up in November before wrapping it back up in Indianapolis, I believe, a few months later. So it's still going. So we'll still be talking about the Eras Tour for some time.
Have you made it out to an Eras Tour yet?
No.
Okay, no Eras Tour in your future.
Yeah. I don't think my kids know about it. My kids knew about it. They might be begging me to.
Maybe I'll have to give them a little phone call.
All right, hey, we have a lot to talk about with the forecast coming up as we head into the weekend. And we are out live at Hilldale Shopping Center in front of Metcalf's for Stuff the Bus. We need your help to get those kiddos in Dane County back to school with everything they need. We'll tell you how you can participate when News 3 Now this morning returns.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sonobello Permanent Fat Removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all.
And my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's biggest sale of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Get an 11% rebate on your entire project at Menards. Vented aluminum soffit helps keep your attic cool and adds the perfect accent to your home's exterior. Pre-finished panels are stocked in white, brown, and black, ready to take home today. Complete your project with new gutters. They're essential for protecting your foundation and help keep your basement dry. Stocked in 3 colors for only $10.99 each after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5.
Pretty good.
Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
It's the back-to-school sale at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Uncrustables, just $2.48. Lunchables or P3, just 99 cents. Basket of bushel mandarins, just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. Hy-Vee split top bread, just $1.28. Kraft singles, just $1.99. Hy-Vee cereal, just 99 cents. Save big during the back-to-school sale, in-store and online this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
News 3 Now, in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club, is collecting school supplies for area students, and we need your help. Drop off school supplies at any of our Dane County locations from now until August 16th, or make a monetary donation at channel3000.com. Thank you for helping hundreds of youth by making a generous donation to the News 3 Now Back to School Supply Drive. Sponsored by Metcalf's Market, Lamer's Bus Line, and Midwest Financial Group.
This morning, Stuff the Bus. It's the final push for our News 3 Now Back to School Drive. How you can help make it a successful year for kids heading back to school in the 608.
Plus, when Medicare enrollees can expect to see their drug prices drop, and by how much.
And the different proposals lawmakers are putting forth to bring change at Wisconsin's only youth prison. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in here on a Friday to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. It is Friday.
Friday.
And that's what we call it.
Oh, man. But it's just, it's the conditions out there. It's just so much. Sorry to be the Debbie Downer and to throw a wet blanket on it, but it's like, it's not very comfortable outside, to say the least.
Well, yeah, it's not comfortable, but I'm trying to just keep the faith because
you're so good at that.
In a couple months, we're going to be complaining about something else. And I'm just trying to hold on to these temperatures, hold on to this, because I can't handle what's ahead.
Oh, you're in for a shock. Our first Wisconsin winter coming up here this year. So, hey, before we get to that, we are dealing with some very humid conditions out this morning. Savannah Brito is out at our Stuff the Bus event this morning. Savannah, how does it feel out there? Am I overdoing it here with my complaints?
No, I mean, me and Josh, everyone here has been saying the exact same thing. It is very, very humid outside. But here's the thing to know. We're down to 69-degree dew point. We were at 71. So we're 2 degrees cooler than that now, but nonetheless still feels about the same out there. Temperatures are a little bit cooler than what we have as far as what we saw earlier this morning. Those are dropping, but still in the mid-70s across most of southern Wisconsin, despite areas just to our northwest where that cold front has already moved through those areas, so that's why it's a little bit cooler there. Here's why we didn't see any severe weather yesterday. This frontal system stalled a little bit, and we did not see the daytime heating that we needed to. So we did not see any even strong storms, at least across the Madison area, or relatively speaking, most of southern Wisconsin. But we could see some isolated, maybe even a couple stronger storms later in the day, really only going to produce some gusty winds and heavy rain. That's what we'll have to focus on and worry about. Another thing, it's foggy. Madison actually falling now to just 2 miles of visibility, 1 mile in Lone Rock, 0 in Black River Falls. So just keep in mind, it will probably lead to some patchy areas of dense fog as you're leaving this morning, so just allow a little bit of extra time. We'll talk about the storms we could see later in the day coming up.
All right, thank you, Savannah. A reminder that she is out there for Stuff the Bus. You can drop off those supplies out in front of Metcalf's this morning, or any Boys and Girls Club of Dane County location, or our studios here at News 3 Now.
And you can find all of this information and the link to make a monetary donation at this story on channel3000.com or with our free Channel 3000 mobile app.
Okay, happening today, a Madison man charged with hate crimes will have a status conference in court.
That's right. The charges stem from an incident on UW-Madison's campus last fall. A criminal complaint alleges that in November 2023, Lucas Nowak and another man barged into a classroom on campus. A witness told investigators Nowak asked one student if she was Saudi Arabian. He then allegedly threatened to kill her. The criminal complaint alleges that on his way out, Nowak spit on the classroom door. He's facing 4 charges, including a felony charge for terrorist threats. Each charge carries a hate crime enhancer. Right now, Nowak's out on bond. As part of that, he's banned from being on UW's campus. His status conference hearing will be at the Dane County Courthouse at 1:40 this afternoon.
Following up on the results of the first ever Medicare drug price negotiation, we have more this morning about the prices that are going to be cheaper and when it's all going to take effect. So here are the top 3 most commonly used drugs that are seeing slashes. These are for 30-day supplies. The most recent numbers from the Health and Human Services Department shows that 67,000 Wisconsinites enrolled in Medicare used Eliquis. That drug is going to be 56% less under new prices. More than 23,000 Wisconsin enrollees used Jardiance. That drug is going to be 66% less. About 23,000 Wisconsinites used Xarelto. After negotiations, that drug is 62% less costly. Here's a list of the other drugs that are going to cost less after negotiations. The highest slash is for Fiasp and Novolong, which had been reduced 76%. The lowest slash was for Imbruvica, commonly used to treat blood cancers. That's still going to be 38% less than before. It all goes into effect in 2026.
A new mortgage rate report is out. It shows 30-year fixed rates hit 6.49% this week. That's slightly higher than last week's 6.47%, but it's still a 15-month low compared to average rates last year. Those set at nearly 8%. It comes as the latest information from the Consumer Price Index report shows inflation is cooling. Low mortgage and inflation rates could lead to lower home prices.
The state's Department of Workforce Development says employment is at a new record high. The DWD says early estimates from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show Wisconsin's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 3% last month. That is 1.3% lower than the national rate. The labor force participation was 65.5%, with more than 3 million Wisconsinites working. That makes July the third consecutive month Wisconsin has set a record for state employment.
We have an update on the status of bed bugs in Madison's metro buses. The city says multiple buses are in the process of being visually inspected. It follows a mechanic reporting they had bites on their arm yesterday morning. The city says so far inspectors haven't found any bugs. Earlier this week, a K9 provided a positive scent alert at a dispatch area. Pest Control is treating that area right now.
Now to continuing coverage of Wisconsin's only youth prison. The two troubled facilities are in the spotlight once again after an imprisoned 16-year-old allegedly killed a counselor. The incident bringing back painful memories for those who used to work there.
She came up top and just pummeled me. And I tried to fight, hold my own, but pushed me into the kitchen and they finally got on top of her and took her away. I was out of my mind, and I'm not a wimp.
News 3 Now found out there have been 150 youth attacks on staff members at the facilities.
Now, in our last half hour, we brought you behind the barbed wire to hear what it's like to work in a system in crisis. But how is Wisconsin trying to fix the problem?
That's the big question. Our political reporter Will Keneally has more with this investigative report.
4 pieces of toilet paper at a time. It was a different world, to say the least.
Randy Forsterling was incarcerated in the 1990s at Lincoln Hills, the state's youth prison in the North Woods of Wisconsin. Up there, inmates lead a different life.
I still remember being given a Sprite from the nurse upon intake and thinking how nice they were to give us soda. Little did I know the soda was to help me piss in a cup.
Now, roughly 30 years later, he appeared before the state Senate committee that oversees Wisconsin prisons, asking for change.
Decades later, and a major self-transformation, here I am, an author, advocate, and success story, wondering how a bad situation could get so much worse.
Wisconsin has been trying to close Lincoln Hills and the corresponding girls' prison, Copper Lake, for the last 6 years. In 2018, then-Governor Scott Walker signed off on a plan to close the 2 prisons in favor of smaller facilities around the state. That plan, though, has still not been fully implemented. Now, the desire to close Lincoln Hills was brought to the forefront by a lawsuit filed by the ACLU. The group alleged horrifying conditions at the prison. The state reached a settlement in the lawsuit called a consent decree. But before Wisconsin could even begin to close Lincoln Hills, the state would have to change policy inside the gates, limiting how corrections officers use force.
My brother used to tell me numerous times before he died, Mary, you have to do something or somebody's going to die. It's not if, Mary, it's when.
Mary Felskowski's brother used to work at Lincoln Hills. Now she's a state senator representing the town that houses the prison. She's among a group of Republican lawmakers who wrote a letter to the Evers administration urging him to work with a federal judge to amend the consent decree. That decree limits how correctional officers can use things like pepper spray and physical restraints, like handcuffs. Republican lawmakers want the officers, called youth counselors or YCs at Lincoln Hills, to have more latitude to use those options. Felskowski offered an example of a YC that restrained an inmate after they struck the YC's partner.
That youth counselor was reprimanded by his superior for an incorrect use of force at Lincoln Hills.
Despite pressure from the legislature, Governor Tony Evers declined to ask for any changes to the consent decree. He wrote a letter to a federal judge on Wednesday that says in part, quote, "The court-ordered consent decree exists precisely because the conditions at Lincoln Hills and Copper Lake under the previous administration were inhumane and unlawful." The Department of Corrections Secretary tells us the agency policy to not use things like pepper spray is also part of a data-driven approach that provides the best outcomes for children incarcerated at the youth prison.
We have an opportunity to look at and do some self-reflection and self-improvement maybe, regardless of what the consent decree says.
But the effort to finally close Lincoln Hills ultimately comes down to money.
The reason that Lincoln Hills is open today is because Republicans on finance have refused to allocate the funds necessary to build these alternative facilities, these smaller facilities in Milwaukee and Madison and elsewhere that will allow Lincoln Hills to be closed.
Democratic State Senator Kelda Royce sits on the legislature's powerful budget writing committee. Those are the lawmakers who would decide on the funding for two smaller facilities in Madison and Milwaukee. Republicans say, however, the Evers administration is slowing down the process of getting that site built. Both sides of the aisle, though, want to see that youth prison closed.
Part of the rationale for having these smaller facilities is to keep kids more connected to their communities, to their loved ones, that will help them succeed when they are released back into the community.
But whatever hospitality did exist sure didn't make up for the distance between where we were and where we came from.
For Randy Forsterling, Lincoln Hills is almost 3 hours away from where he was initially arrested. He made that trek right before sharing his story.
I actually went to visit Lincoln Hills today. Just drove up there. It looks pretty much the same as it did 20-something years ago. And I kept thinking, and I would hear, help is on the way. Help is on the way. Is help really on the way?
That was our Will Keneally reporting. Funding for the smaller Dane County facility could be included in the next budget cycle.
That process won't start, though, until late January.
6:40 coming up after the break. We'll check back in with meteorologist Savannah Brito for a look at this weekend's forecast.
Plus, Stuff the Bus. It's our final push for our News 3 Now Back to School drive. You can come visit us at Metcalf's Hilldale location. You can't miss the big yellow school bus right off of University Avenue. And coming up, we're going to talk about how local folks are stepping up to make a difference in the 608.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act.
It takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
Hanson's knows what your home means to you. It's where you feel safe, comfortable, protected, and of course, no other place provides you with as much joy. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are all backed by our guarantee. So you can feel happy in your home for years to come. With professional installation and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert, exceeding homeowners' expectations for 35 years. Get 50% off installation with high-quality craftsmanship you can count on. Or enjoy no interest and no payments for 1 year. From windows to roofing to siding to gutters to bathtubs and showers, no one's got you covered like we do.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually.
Right, Tom.
Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam.
How have we got to Tam? Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
Chicago hosts the Democratic National Convention, and News 3 Now will be there. We'll bring you live team coverage all week as the Democratic Party takes center stage in the Windy City, rallying around their presidential ticket. Plus, we'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter most to voters here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 coverage live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Starting Monday on News 3 Now, moving forward.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
Time now, 6:44 on your Friday morning. We're back, and our crew is live at Metcalf for the final day of our back-to-school drive.
Josh is going to join us in a few minutes with one last push to get donations. We want to start, though, with Savannah, who's got to look at your first warn forecast on a really humid start to the day, Savannah.
Yeah, dew point skies fell a little bit, but we're right back up to that 70-degree dew point in Madison, unfortunately. Dew points are still even at 60 degrees in Black River Falls, 63 in Camp Douglas, 72 in Janesville. So pretty much everyone across southern Wisconsin dealing with the muggy conditions, but we definitely are off to a worse start currently in Madison. This is why we didn't see those strong to even severe thunderstorms yesterday. That low pressure system and the cold front stalled a little bit. The warm front became a stationary front, and then we did not see that necessary heating of the day, so we didn't see really any good storms across the area. Northern Illinois and out in Iowa really saw all the activity, but because the system did stall a little bit and because we have higher humidity levels, I think we could see some isolated thunderstorms later in the day. Might see a strong storm if we are able to see that heavy rain, and then mainly some gusty winds. Those are going to be the main threats. Visibilities, though, because humidity levels are so high and we have lots of moisture in the atmosphere, these keep dissipating. So we're down to under 2 miles now in Madison, actually. A quarter of a mile only in Monroe, 0 in Platteville. So there still is plenty of areas that are dealing with that patchy, even dense fog this morning. Allow extra time as we head towards about late morning. I think that's when we're going to see that dissipate at least a little bit. But because humidity levels are expected to be pretty high, at least through the morning into the early afternoon, could see those visibility issues even persist till about lunchtime. 72 the current temperature in Madison, 69 in Cross Plains, 64 in Watoma, 70 in Janesville. So it's still warm outside. Those areas that did see the cold front exceed, those temperatures falling a little bit behind that. So 67 in La Crosse, 60 in Black River Falls only this morning. Again, those areas are mainly a little bit cooler out there. The isolated showers that I was talking about earlier, about lunchtime into 1 p.m. So I think that's when those are going to form with the clouds increasing. And then as we head later into the day, between 4 and 5 west of Madison, that will track in Madison about 5 to 6 p.m. So some heavier showers. And then behind that, that's all moving eastward by about 7. We're still tracking some isolated showers, though, even into the overnight hours. That's behind the low pressure system that's again overhead to our northwest right now. Expect breezy conditions. Winds could gust up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour, but they are very light right now. That also being one of the reasons, guys, we're seeing those foggy conditions this morning.
All right, Savannah, thanks for the update. In the 6:08 this morning, it is the final push for our big News 3 Now back to school supply drive.
And that's where we find Josh Sprider live outside Metcalf at Hilldale this morning with how you can help. Josh, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yeah, it's our final push here. We are on the last day of our 2-week supply drive here as we're looking for all of those school supplies for local kids. You can come visit us all day long through 6:30 p.m. all the way through our 6 o'clock news tonight and drop off those school supplies right here at the school bus provided by Lamers, our partners once again this year. And there are plenty of other ways for you to help out as well. I want to bring in Lindsay Brahms from the Boys and Girls Club once again. Lindsay, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. And how could I not be when we're seeing the community step up in so many wonderful ways over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. We're so grateful for everyone who has donated over the past couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to our final push today.
What are we most looking forward right now as far as those school supplies go?
Sure. So we're always in need of backpacks and lunch boxes every year. That's a hot commodity item for our kids, as well as basic school supplies that you can consider any child would need really throughout the year. That's something we're looking for. Notebooks, pens, pencils, rulers, erasers, anything that would really help set a kid up for success for the incoming academic year.
I know you guys are also making it easy too. You have the Amazon wish list. So if folks are like, I don't know what to get, you have those decisions already made for them. All they have to do is go right to that.
Exactly. We try to make it as easy as possible for folks. So if you don't have time to actually come and deliver school supplies to us here today, you can still visit our Amazon wish list at bgcdc.org/back-to-school and order items, and it comes directly to the clubs for us to distribute next week.
Another amazing way to be able to give is a monetary donation. And now I have to bring in Matt Coupland with Midwest Financial Group. Matt, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yes, you bet. So you've been a partner of ours the last couple of years, and you're here with a pretty big check today. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we're really happy this year to bring a $1,000 check and present it to the Boys and Girls Club to try to help raise some monetary funds to buy the school supplies, as well as get some donations from our clients at our office.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Lindsay, how does this feel?
This is incredible. We're so grateful to Matt and everyone at Midwest Financial Group for their support. Again, we have people who have dropped off supplies, but this helps us get supplies that we may not have necessarily received, and has us go out and purchase supplies too.
You know, Matt, your colleagues have really stepped up over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we all have, well, most of us have children going to school. We know how important it is to be able to get that off to a good start by having the supplies you need, and not everybody can get that. And so we thought it was really important to go to our clients, ask them for help, donate ourselves. So we're just really happy to be proud and be part of it.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much. Lindsay, this has got to feel pretty good. Our last day here, so people can still come out and help out.
Absolutely. Yes, we'll be here until 6:30 p.m. and we start distributing supplies at our clubs next Thursday.
Wonderful. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, look at this check. We love to see it here, guys. Come make a difference today in the 608. We're going to be out here all the way through our 6 p.m. news tonight. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help today and also volunteer for getting those school supplies ready for local kids next week, just go to channel3000.com. This is a big check. I always love these big checks, guys. These are pretty cool.
Very generous of them. They make that money go so far, too. I'm always impressed by how these nonprofits take that money and just stretch it as far as they can to do the most good.
Yes, we're off to a good start this morning, but
Thanks,
we have
Josh.
plenty of time left. Josh, thank you. Yes. And coming up in the morning sprint, the request former President Trump is making to a judge set to sentence him next month.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know. We'll show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Everyone has their own idea of what fitness means to them. Here's what it means to us. We believe fitness can be more than exercise, that it can build a better tomorrow. It can change how you feel. It can build more than muscle. It can build community. And no matter what your reason, the common goal is simple. It's for a better tomorrow. Join us for a better tomorrow.
Mark, a little help here? Oh, keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Whoa. Hey, I'm not a beekeeper, but I can replace these windows fast.
Let Feldco be the experts in your home renewal. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026. And we'll get it done Feldco fast.
Buy one window, get one free, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
My name is Jack Frank. I'm a retired paper mill worker in the valley here, and I work for Copeland Bus part-time on the side. I've had my own route now here for the last 3-4 years, and the kids on it are great. Flexible hours, they work with you in many different ways. If you've got something going, they accommodate you, or they try to get somebody to run your route. Colson treats you decent. You know, all the years I worked here. It's a great place to work.
When you donate furniture, cabinets, and appliances to Habitat Restore, you make an impact on neighbors in your community. Profits generated from Restore sales help provide safe and secure housing for hardworking families across Dane County. Donate to make a difference today.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
Find your new e-bicycle at Machinery Row Bicycles.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
A Madison man accused of hate crimes will be in court today. A criminal complaint alleges 20-year-old Lucas Nowak and another man barged into a classroom on UW's campus. Nowak allegedly went up to a student, asked if she was Saudi Arabian, then said he'd kill her. Among his 4 charges, a felony for terrorist threats. Nowak will be in court today at 1:40.
Happening today, Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance will return to Milwaukee for a campaign event. It'll happen at the Milwaukee Police Association building. Senator Vance is expected to continue his criticism of the White House for its approach to combating crime and border security.
Donald Trump is asking the judge in his criminal election interference trial to delay sentencing. Trump wants Judge Juan Merchan to delay sentencing until after the presidential election. The request comes days after Merchan declined to recuse himself from the case. He will rule on whether the Supreme Court's immunity decision applies to the case on September 16th. Trump's sentencing is 2 days later.
Trader Joe's is recalling more than 650,000 mango tangerine scented candles. The company says the wax can catch fire. There are at least 14 reports of the candles sparking high flames. 2 resulted in minor burns. You can get a refund or present proof of purchase online and receive a gift card in the mail.
And a final reminder, it's your last chance to donate to our back-to-school drive. You can drop off new or gently used supplies at any Dane County Boys and Girls Club location or at our station here on Raymond Road. We're trying to fill a whole bus. And that's where we find meteorologist Savannah Brito.
Yeah, guys, come out here, help us stuff the bus. It's the last day of our back-to-school drive. Any little bit does help. Weather conditions, not the best, but at least it's not storming. We're dealing with humidity. Dew points are very, very high right now. It'll be breezy later in the day. We're still seeing that foggy visibility issues because the fog and humidity levels are so high. 81 your high today. This weekend, not tracking that much of a great chance of rain besides Saturday.